things just to mention. I think that one of the things that is really tempting to do as parents, and your kids are busy. They are busy with classes, they're busy with activities and sports. They're going from morning till night. And so one of the things that is really tempting as a parent is to help in the college process. And as I've mentioned, there are ways you absolutely can help. You can facilitate the campus visits, you can have good conversations with your sons about the process, but you have to draw the line at what's appropriate for you to do and what really is your son's responsibility. One of the things that happens, and kids will tell us this with great frequency, is that when their parents do too much, when their parents are offering, oh, I'll do that for you, I'll do this for you, what you're doing unintentionally is you're communicating that you actually are not confident in their ability to handle their business. That you're communicating a sense of their incompetence. Again, with all the best intentions, you're trying to help. But really what you need to do is to help by saying, I have faith in your ability to do this. And I know you're working with great counselors as you're working through the process, and I'm here to play a supporting role. I'm here for you to talk to about it. If you want me to remind you that this is the day that you need to send in the registration for the SAT or whatever, I'm happy to do that, but I'm the supporting actor here. There are lots of different metaphors we use in college admissions. Some people do the whole theater one of the student is the star of the show, and you're the person, and you're on the tech crew in the back. That's a good metaphor. Having lived in Canton, New York for 14 years and having wonderful access to Canadian TV, I like to use the curling metaphor. I don't know if you all are familiar with the sport of curling, but for those of you who have caught it, at least during the Olympics, you'll know that there is one person on the curling team who throws the stone to try to get it into the target area, and then there are the sweepers who have these little brooms and they're trying to sweep the path so the stone goes where it's supposed to go. You are the sweepers. He's throwing the stone. And whatever metaphor works for you, but it's that whole idea, he's got to be in charge. He's going to feel so much more ready to go to college if he is allowed to take care of his own business as he goes through this process. I do think that one of the things that, I can't stress it enough how fortunate your kids are and that you are to have your sons be here. Congratulations on having made a great decision to have your boys be here, because they will have such extraordinary support from the college counseling office, who are not only incredible professionals, but also very connected to a lot of us in the admissions world. Having this system of Naviance, which is this software system for the college process, is another great tool that now is becoming more common, but is not available in all schools. So that's going to be a real positive as well. A couple of last things to say as I wrap up here. One of the other things I think that's bizarre in American society in our current time is that college admissions, college applications have become sort of public domain. I often imagine it might be like a woman who's expecting a child and total strangers walk up and either share their horror stories of childbirth or feel that they've got something to share with this total stranger. Well, 17-year-olds are going through it. Everybody has an opinion about college admissions. Again, sometimes with good intentions, but every random relative or person they meet on the street, when they realize they're in the 11th or 12th grade, says, well, where are you applying to college? Well, you're applying early decision. Well, why are you applying there? Have you thought about here? It's an exhausting thing for kids. And it also is one of those things where it's really nobody's business. It's your business as parents, it's his business as the student, and it's the college counselor's business. And certainly the teachers and all who will write in support of his application. But don't feel that you need to share any more than you choose to share. And it's a good conversation to have with your son. Does he want all of his cousins and aunts and uncles to know where he's applying to college or not? That's really his choice to make. And I think that you can come up with everything. You've got to decide your own personality, how you feel about it, whether you want to just say, well, he's decided he wants to kind of keep it all to himself until he knows where he's going. Or you could say he's applying everywhere that begins with S. Or you could say, we've decided he's not going to go to college. Whatever you want to say, whatever works for you, whatever works for your son, but it's no one's business but yours. And again, don't fall prey to this sort of sense that everybody feels like it's everybody's business where people are applying to college. Don't assume that the harder a college is to gain admissions to will mean that it's a better experience for your son. There's this sense sometimes that people will say you should apply to a couple of places where you're kind of in the middle of the profile, and a couple of places that are would be tough for you to get into, and a couple of places where you're pretty assured of admission, and that may be right for certain students, but it's not right for everybody. And even if the student does that, if he ultimately says, I feel best about this college, and it was maybe the one with the highest admit rate, or it's the one that is least well known in your neighborhood, if it's where he feels best, and as long as you don't have any particular concerns about the place, that should be where he goes, because his experience in college is going to be largely determined by how he feels heading off there. And so it's important, I think, to always remember that, that in the end, he should be making the decision about where does he feel he can be his best self. And some of that's going to be things that will drive you crazy. It will be, he will say, I want to be someplace warm, probably after this winter. There'll be a lot of seniors anyway, who say, I want to go someplace warm. And again, you don't want it to be flip, you don't want it to be just kind of an emotional reaction, but if you actually have a son who is going to actually be a lot happier in a warm climate, then he's going to do better academically, he's going to make friends more easily, and he's going to take advantage of the things that are there. So you want to make sure that it's about finding a place where it feels right. We hear this from students all the time. They'll say, and this has been true at all the different places I work, they will say, when I got here, I just felt right. I felt like, I looked around and I thought, I can be friends with these people. This feels like a place where I can be happy. And yes, you want them to be challenged, and yes, you want to be prepared for whatever life brings after college, other than coming home to the couch. But you really, really want them to be happy, because that's going to help them be successful. A longtime colleague at the Blake School in Minneapolis was the president of our professional organization, and a guy named Frank Sachs. And Frank is often quoted as saying that college is a match to be made, not a prize to be won. And I think that that's good wisdom for the kids as well as for parents. And again, just remember, your sons will go to college, they'll go to good colleges, and they'll be great kids. And wherever they happen, whatever sticker you want to put on the back of your car, you can choose. You just order them off the internet. Anybody can buy any college sticker. It's not like it's only allowed for certain people. Some of them only cost 79 cents. Although here in Salisbury, they're quite a bit more expensive. But again, try to keep your sense of humor. And again, know that your sons are in great hands, and that you should pat yourself on the back for having helped them to choose Salisbury.